Miss Annie Cruz.
Mr. Stephen Vance.
I think for the remainder of the podcast, we both should pose like this and just do. This is how we're going to do the podcast.
Like that, like that, like that.
Gonna,
Wait, hold on.
just
Hold
gonna
on,
keep
wait,
doing
ready,
the
ready, ready.
podcast.
Like that, like
that. Cruz,
Vance!
Stellar Club, worldwide, finally making a name for itself.
Too fucking sweet, Vance.
Too sweet, Cruz. And you know what else is too sweet?
What?
Finn Balor getting a title shot.
Can we talk about that? Let's just dive right in, shall we? You know what I
Let's
mean?
go
Let's
balls
just
deep, Cruz.
Yes. Yes.
Well, first, Cruz, I would like to address a white elephant in the room.
Wait, what?
Yes. You were a guest on Sirius XM Radio, Fight Network, Busted Open.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a guest with Dave LaGreca
Was.
and the hardcore legend, Tommy Dreamer.
That's motherfucking right, Vance. It's funny because I did their show and we were talking about t-shirts, you know? How I was talking about how I stole a bunch of your shirts, Vance. But speaking
If
of
you could
shirts,
send those back, that'd be great.
look at what we're wearing right now though, bro.
This is no coincidence, Cruz.
This you know the yeah. Anyways, no, I had a really good time. I want to thank everybody that tuned in to Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM 93. I want to thank Dave LaGreca for having me on his show, and for Tommy Dreamer for telling me to keep the dreams alive. Of course.
I want to thank Tommy Dreamer as well for telling you to fight for your dreams and follow your dreams and bring Vance as your manager.
That's right, Vance. We're gonna make it happen. I think.
I can't do in ring. I'm not ring shape.
You're gonna be like the Zelina Vega to my Andrade.
More like the Paul Bearer to your Undertaker.
Okay.
Or the Leo Rush to your Bobby Lash.
Oh my god! Except I'm not
the
gonna do
new
that.
Intercontinental Champion.
That's right. We'll get into that in a second. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the people that tuned into Busted Open and also for the new listeners that we have because I'm getting a lot of messages, tweets, comments, whatever you want to call it, everywhere on social media from everybody that tuned into the show that found their way over here to going over. So I want to welcome all of the new listeners and watchers that are listening and or watching right now. Welcome to the show.
When you say watchers, it reminds me of that movie with James Franco's brother and Julia Roberts' daughter, and they're in New York City, and they're playing a game that's like Snapchat meets Truth or Dare, and I can't think of the name of that movie right now.
Is this a newer movie? What the fuck movie
Oh,
is that?
fuck. What's the name of the movie? They go on a motorcycle. They have a great soundtrack. It's Dave Franco and Emma Roberts.
Oh, Emma Roberts.
Is Emma Roberts first?
I think her name is Emma, right? That's Julia Roberts. What's his name?
Like,
Roberts' daughter.
We watched this together. They're playing like Dare, and they have watchers and followers and shit. What is the name of this fucking movie?
Oh, where they go to Mexico or some shit?
Mexico? No, it's all in New York City.
What the fuck movie is that? I don't remember.
I'm gonna check our friend Google and just start typing in Dave Franco, Emma Roberts, and see what it comes up.
I don't remember this. Are you sure
that might
you
not
watched
be
this
her
movie
name.
with me?
Yes, I am because Nerve.
I don't remember watching a movie.
Highly recommend it. We didn't watch it together. I highly recommend this movie. It's great. It's shot very millennial-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Millennialese. Very millennialese.
Wow.
I don't know why the fuck I was talking about that.
Totally deterred. But anyways, I just want to let everybody that's listening right now from the Going Over universe, if you haven't checked out the episode that I did on Busted Open, you can actually check it out on demand if you have Sirius XM. So there's that. Vance, let's get into what happened on Monday Night Raw. I think
So much happened, Cruz. Where do you want to start? Should we start with the first ever African American Intercontinental Champion?
we can start there because I want to get to the good stuff.
Okay, he's not. He's not the first ever African American Intercontinental Champion. He's the latest ever African
All right,
American
Vance.
Intercontinental Champion.
Just stop while you're ahead, Vance. Just stop while you're ahead.
I'm already behind, Cruz. I'm already behind.
No, so how about that, man? They had Lashley versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental
And Seth Rollins, he was in there too.
Oh wait, that's right. It was a triple threat match.
It was a triple threat. They did a Doomsday Device. And Leo Rush is a flippy guy.
I mean,
He's so flippy.
The 205 Live. The dude's my size. Motherfucker is my size. Whenever I see
Is he
Leo
really
Rush,
your size?
he's 5'6", dude. Not like size.
He's like
but
Tom Cruise.
Height.
So you think Tom Cruise would do a backflip like him?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you'd see him do that with all the stunts. You know, him doing his own.
He does all his own stunts.
Yeah, but no, Leo Rush is 5'6". So every time I see him on Raw, I'm always just thinking to myself, like, but just imagine if that was me running around the stage, little person, just.
Cruz, I don't believe they like being called little persons.
No.
I believe they prefer elf. No, dwarf. Dwarf's the real one.
Wow,
elf
you're
is
being
fake.
serious. Are you
Elf is
high?
magical. Elf is magic.
Wow.
I'm wicked. I'm like Jesus riding a space shuttle right now. Okay.
So yeah, we got a brand new IC champ, man. How do you feel about that, Vance? You're like the biggest.
I like it.
You're the biggest Ambrose mark that I know. Okay.
But Ambrose needs to move on. He needs to get out of this shitty. How do you do this? This is a Vance rant. How do you fuck up the perfect heel turn? He won our best heel turn of 2018.
Oh, no, absolutely. I took.
And since then, he's become this Captain Planet anti-hero who doesn't like smells and is a germaphobe.
And dresses up like Bane from.
And dresses up like Bane, and his promos suck. They're not like the psychopathic fucking John Moxley promos we all thought we were going to get when that heel turn came.
John Moxley.
And instead, we got this fucking watered down.
Yeah.
Just a terrible, 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 terrible run. And the fucking Intercontinental belt meant nothing. Like, you should have been like a super villain with like the Intercontinental belt. Like, hey, I have the belt and no one will ever get it from me. He was just like, that's. And I am a big Ambrose mark, as we know. I own several pieces of merchandise for Mr. Ambrose.
I stole one of those pieces of merchandise.
Wait, do you have that shirt?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Don't make me get it. Anyways.
So yeah, so I think Bobby Lashley is a breath of fresh air in the Intercontinental division. I think that he has some great feuds coming up with maybe my friend Elias. I think he could feud with, maybe get Bobby Roode out of this tag team bullshit.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? Like, Bobby Roode is just like, okay.
Well, I mean, that's another story to talk about.
We're not even gonna get into that right
now.
But
I think that Bobby Lashley having the belt is a breath of fresh air. What do you think?
I agree with that statement. It was about time. I was like, okay. I was shocked. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was too.
I'm just happy he didn't do that goddamn pose.
Did you see the meme of Bobby Lashley wearing the Intercontinental title?
Oh my god! I bet you're gonna show me right now.
I was gonna post
everybody that's watching right now this meme that we're talking about.
I was gonna post it on Going Over, but I thought it would be too offensive. Not offensive, just not. Not offensive. Just funny.
Not offensive. Okay, just hilarious. Make up your mind. Is it offensive?
I should have just posted. You know what? I might go back. I might post it on the Going Over.
And for those of you that are listening and or watching, you can go to our Instagram at Going Over Podcast.
I can't find it now.
let's skip
think
to the
it
good
might
stuff real quick, okay? Because I
skip
really
to
want to
it.
get into. I want to get into this because we all know how big of a Balor fan I am. Okay.
Are you?
Uh, all right. Let me announce something real quick because I'm listening to people. For instance, people that called into Busted Open, for example, people that post on the internet, for example, people that don't know what's going on, that keep complaining about Balor. And mind you, the majority of these people that I'm speaking of are people that are not Balor fans, right?
Are
Some
they
of
not part
them,
of Balor Club Worldwide?
no, but like for instance, this one guy was saying how oh, like Balor's never been the champ. What the fuck do you mean he's never been the champ? Let me remind you real quick, Vance, okay? Does anybody remember that he was
Holy
the
shit.
first Universal champ, Vance, okay? Motherfuckers are trying to say, oh, he's never been the champ before or whatever. I mean, like, hello? Let's not even talk about like NXT or NJPW or
He
any of
said
that
that.
bullshit.
He said that when he came out. He was like, I don't know about you boys, but I'm the only one here who's ever won that Universal title. I don't know why he sounds like a leprechaun. Does he sound like a
Because you're
leprechaun?
being racist with the accent.
That's not racist. That's my best Irish accent.
Anyhow, so like everyone's, I guess, has forgotten or is unaware apparently that like the fucking Balor was the first ever Universal champ, and he had to relinquish. He was forced to relinquish the fucking title due to injury, right?
It's true.
And then Brock's been holding the title. It's just been this whole thing. And do you want to go ahead and explain what happened on Monday Night Raw with Vince McMahon, Vance?
Vince McMahon loves beef. And Vince McMahon was in the ring. And next thing you know, John Cena came out and said, oh, wait, should I start from the beginning of why Vince McMahon was in the ring?
Probably start from the beginning, Vance.
Terrible
We're not
story.
going to memento this thing again, okay?
Okay, hold on. Going to the beginning of Raw, what happened was Vince McMahon was nowhere to be seen. But Braun Strowman was chasing Baron Corbin around a building. Next thing you know, you see the Drifter. And the Drifter plays this little ditty saying, hey, my friend Jimbo, he's in the limbo. And Braun Strowman's like, oh, he's in the limo. So he goes to the limo and he sees Baron Corbin. He rips the door off and he's beating the shit out of the limo, like all Bill Goldberg on the limo, right? Then it cuts to Mr. McMahon, like furious. He's like, you son of a bitch. Furious. And Braun Strowman tries putting the limo back together like an idiot. Like, who does that? Like, I'm going to fix the door. Put the door back on. And Vince is like, you're fined $100,000. And Braun's like, this piece of crap isn't worth $100,000.
That's your
And Vince
best
is,
fucking Braun Strowman impersonation, Vance. I'm so
that's my
disappointed.
best Braun Strowman.
Go on, continue the
So
story.
Vince goes, you son of a bitch. You think it's not worth it? Well, you just lost your title shot. And Braun's like, okay, and wanders back to his fucking cave or whatever. And so now there's a vacant position of who's going to fight Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble live from Phoenix, Arizona next Sunday. So
No. The 2 Sundays from now.
yeah, not nobody knows it's this Sunday. It'd be next Sunday, right?
Okay, go on. Yeah, you're right. Go on.
God damn it, Cruz.
Go
So what
on.
happens is, who's out there? Who's in the ring? Vince McMahon's in the ring. Next thing you know, John Cena comes out and he's like, you know what, Vince? I'm John Cena. I should get the title shot. And Vince is like, that's not a bad argument. Next thing you know, Drew McIntyre comes out and he's like, your time is up. My time is now. And John Cena is like, I'm the rapper. But Drew McIntyre wants a shot at the title. So Vince is like, okay. And then who comes out? Baron fucking Corbin to a parade of boos. A parade?
Yeah. A parade.
Like a chorus. A chorus of
a chorus of boos. I like that better. Go on.
Chorus of boos. He sucks. He thinks he deserves a title shot because I'll sue. Dumb storyline. Then who comes out but Balor. Finn Balor comes out and he says, I don't know about you boys, but I've been the only one who's been Universal Champion. He sounds just like Drew McIntyre in my head. So then Vince is like, you know, Finn, there's a lot of beef in this ring, which, and you're just a little guy. So I don't know why
he got said it. He said it.
He said it. He said it.
Because
he called him little.
We all know how Vince feels about
Finn. And Balor even said it. I know how you feel, Mr. McMahon, but the way these people feel is differently.
Is that what he said? Go on.
Something like that. And so then Vince is like, okay, now we're having a fatal four-way for the opportune to fight the Beast at the Rumble for the Universal title.
Okay, and then we fast forward to Jinder Mahal. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that. Was it during commercial breaks?
No. So Jinder Mahal goes to Vince McMahon saying he was busy fucking off somewhere, so he didn't get a chance to come out there and be like, wait a minute, I deserve a chance at the Universal title. You know, like, what the fuck? And then
what's funny?
What?
Jinder Mahal doesn't even watch Raw. He's just sitting backstage, like, doing something completely different, and he's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Yeah, what are you talking about, Singh Brothers?
I can't even remember what the fuck it was that he said, that he was like, I was busy, you know, doing whatever. But anyways, so Vince McMahon tells him, tell you what, why don't you pick one of the guys from the Fatal 4-Way to fight? And whoever, if you end up beating, whoever you beat, you get to replace them in the Rumble, basically, is what Vince McMahon said.
Replace them in the Fatal 4-Way.
Or
later on tonight.
That's right. Sorry. I got that information wrong. So then, Jinder, of course, chooses Balor. He's like, oh, you know, easy one. Balor. Okay, cool.
The little guy.
Yeah. So, you know, the first fight before the Fatal 4-Way is between Balor and Mahal, obviously. Of course, Balor wins, right? Jinder, huge compared to fucking Balor, right? Balor wins.
Jinder's huge.
Yeah, we already knew that was going to happen. Okay, he wins. Fatal 4-Way happens. Oh my gosh, Vance. Oh my gosh. Were you surprised at the outcome of that Fatal 4-Way?
I'm surprised John Cena took the pin. But I think that needed to happen for Cena to do his whole thing at the end.
His whole promo at the end. Which was very classy, man. I thought it was very classy.
You know what they're doing? Is they're associating a known main eventer, John Cena. They did the same thing with Becky Lynch when John Cena.
They did the same thing with Becky Lynch, though. They did the same
thing. And they want that association.
Yeah. Psychological thing, Vance.
Yeah. It's psychological stuff.
Well, no, because they basically utilized. It's that whole thing of like associating. Remember, we talked about this. How many episodes?
We talked about word association.
Yeah. Shut up. Anyways. But no, that's basically what they did with Cena and Finn. They needed they used Cena to put Finn over. I mean, Finn's already over, right?
Finn is way over, but the thing is, Cena gave him the rub. Now he's got the rub.
Exactly.
Give him hell. Give Lesnar hell at the Royal Rumble. Like he's going to war.
I know, right? Like, can you do that impersonation of
John Cena?
No, Braveheart.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God.
All right, but here's my problem with this whole thing. So here's what the story was. Apparently this has been the plan for weeks. Since TLC, they knew Finn was going to take on Brock. And Brock handpicked Finn because he likes to have little guys in the ring. Like, look at his match he had with Bryan. That was amazing. AJ Styles, amazing.
Well, I feel like the best fights that I've seen with Brock has been with dudes much smaller than him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and Braun still isn't cleared apparently. So
is that a fact, though? Is that a fact? Did we?
That's a fact. That's
this?
A fact. That is confirmed from various wrestling websites that I shall not name.
Okay, fair enough.
The dirt sheets, Cruz. The dirt sheets.
All right, so we'll leave that alone. Go on.
So what happened was Vince saw that Braun kept losing, and he's like, "Fuck, I can't have this guy lose again at the Royal Rumble because I'm not putting the belt on Braun at the Royal Rumble. I'm just not. And I'm not putting it on Finn either, probably. almost 100%. So he was like, okay, I'll have Braun sit out this one, and I'll kill Finn Balor. So you're gonna get. I think it's gonna be a really good match. I'm excited about it.
I'm pretty stoked about it. Now the question, and I actually asked this question on all social media platforms to the Going Over universe, and we'll get into that a little later into the show. But I asked the Going Over universe, who do you think is going to? And I'm going to ask you this question, Vance, so you can answer it
Yes.
right now. Who do you think is going to show up at the Royal Rumble against the Beast? Is it going to be Finn Balor, or is it going to be the Demon King?
I think that they can't have the Demon King lose. So I think Finn Balor, the ordinary man who can do extraordinary things, they don't call him that anymore.
Well, now Corey Graves always constantly says that, but let me tell you why I think that it's not going to be the Demon King, right? Aside from the fact that, the Demon King never loses, and sure, Vince has been doing a pretty good job at like keeping the Demon King under wraps, because for a while we were seeing him, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, are we ever going to see the Demon King again?
Yeah.
Oh, we're kind of saving it for bigger stuff,
For
right?
big shit, yeah.
Yeah, and so this would, people can kind of, a lot of people in the Going Over universe, spoilers, seem to think that like, oh, the only way this is going to happen is if he comes out as a Demon King. But the thing is, the way Cena came out and gave that little rub to Finn, right? It wasn't about the Demon King. It was about Finn Balor. It's about, listen, Vince, yeah, Finn's, not as big as all these other fucking wrestlers, right? But he's, like you said, the extraordinary man who can do extraordinary things, right? So I feel like it would not make sense for him to come out as a Demon King, because then everything that Cena said and everything, even that moment between Balor and Vince himself, when he said, like, you know what, because he knows, Balor already knows how Vince feels about him, right? So it almost would kind of contradict everything that he had said by doing that. Like, oh, okay, the only way you can, and basically everybody would look at it as, oh, the only way Balor could have beat him was, coming out as the Demon King. Like, oh, okay, that was kind of like
right.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I feel like there would be more respect there. And even if he comes out as Balor, right, not the Demon King, and loses, I know for a fact that this fight's going to be phenomenal. You know what I mean?
It's going to be a great match.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fucking match. I'm super stoked about it. I'm super, super stoked about it. But we're going to get into what the Going Over universe has to say about that in a little bit. Shall we move on from this, Vance?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay.
Raw, I think well, I mean, how do you feel about this whole Ronda Rousey Sasha Banks? Who is the heel? Let's play who's the heel.
Little announcement real quick though, dude. Did you see those fucking women's tag belts, dude?
Oh my god, they're so good looking.
They look so much nicer than the men's tag belts, dude.
They are so much better than those penny belts they have. What is that fucking penny belt?
I don't know, but when I saw it, I was like, that actually looks really nice.
That's a nice looking belt. I like how they're white. I like how they say tag team.
Yeah, the plate looks really, really good. Looks really good.
It's really gold. Like it's very gold.
Aesthetically more pleasing to the eye than like, the men's division.
They mentioned that the first time that they decide the titles is going to be at Elimination Chamber with 12 people, right? 6 teams.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's 12 people in the Elimination Chamber. First of all, it's going to be fucking madness. But here's my question: are they just on one brand?
So that's where I got confused at first, because when Alexa Bliss had made the announcement, I was like, wait a minute. So does this mean that the women's tag championships are only going to be, it's going to be between Raw and SmackDown? Like, right. Is it, because I mean, like, is there, and I thought about it, I'm like, I guess there's not enough women. But when you think about it, how many tag factions are there in the men's divisions on both brands? You know what I mean?
Raw, I mean, you probably got like, I mean, how many people are in the Lucha House Party now? It's like 12, right? So you got them.
Well, you got Bobby Roode and Gable, right?
You got Roode and Gable. You got the AOP.
You got AOP. You've got the Lucha House Party. You've got
the Revival.
The Revival, which we're going to talk about them in a few
minutes. Who else? That's every tag team I can think of.
That's the only one. Yeah. So I'm thinking, if you look at the women's division on Raw, like, isn't there almost the same amount? Like, you got
Women's
Tamina,
division, you got Sasha and Bailey for sure.
you've got Tamina and Nia Jax for
Tamina
sure.
and Nia.
Natalia and Ronda.
But are they going to put Ronda in this?
I don't know. That's the thing. So I mean,
I
so
don't
what
think
I'm
they're going
thinking.
to.
So this is what I'm thinking. What I'm. Oh wait, and then they have Riot Squad. So let's just say Ronda isn't right, and it's just those three. I
Mhm.
mean, if you think about it, it's almost the same amount as the men. So I don't understand why they're not creating separate. If they have separate ones for men, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if they carry that belt across the brands. Like, even if they did it in NXT, can you imagine like going from like it's a SmackDown team that wins it? Like maybe it's I don't know who's on SmackDown Women's. Uh oh, Mandy and Sonya. Let's say Mandy
Yeah,
and Sonya
Minnesota. Yeah,
win the belt. Then they show up on Raw, or they show on NXT. That'd be super cool if they did something like that.
that would be really cool. That would be really cool. So I guess that's what they're doing. I think they're trying to do something different with the women's tag division. So that's interesting. I just know that the belts definitely look really good.
Belts are
Um,
on point.
let's jump into SmackDown real quick so we can get
Let's go to
into
SmackDown. Let's
some more
talk
fun
about
stuff.
AJ Styles and how he interrupted the women's division to walk through the crowd.
Okay, yeah. Um, unnecessary.
Let me ask you a question. How much of a fucking egomaniac do you have to be to interrupt a segment just so you can walk from the outside of the arena to the inside of the arena? Like, does that make any sense? Why
I
couldn't
feel
he just
like
go backstage up a stairway? Why do you have to
because
come out the entranceway and
they're
walk
trying
through
to,
the
I
crowd?
don't know, they're trying to make a scene, I guess, and it was very unnecessary. It was totally
I
unnecessary.
think that's why I think they're slowly going to start turning AJ heel. And this was kind of like the first thing, like, oh, he's interrupting women's segments. And we all know women's segments
Well,
shouldn't be interrupted by men.
I have to admit, Vance, like, when I can't remember how many episodes ago this was that, when Vince basically told AJ, like, I want to see the real AJ Styles, right? And then we
Mhm.
saw him in that one match. I think it was like wasn't it a fatal four-way? What was that match where it was like him, it was like
Him,
multiple guys?
Mustafa Ali.
Or was it a tag match? Was it a
It was a
tag match?
tag match with
It was a
Mustafa
tag match, right?
Ali versus
And
Andrade.
I gotta tell you, like, I didn't really feel like I saw anything different with AJ in that match to even like support this whole like, oh, real AJ Styles, like I have yet to see the real AJ Styles is my point in making that statement. You know what I mean? But from what you're saying right now, makes a valid point that like I think we're slowly building up to where we're gonna finally see the real AJ Styles, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I
But
think he's a better heel anyway.
oh, for sure, for
With
sure. So
hair
that was
like that, you should be a heel.
okay. That's hilarious. But
That's
should we
just
talk about how he went out and there was like this huge fucking table of hot dogs, table of wieners, Vance,
so. Let me ask
table
you a
of
question. Do you
wieners.
think that they did this because of the whole Trump thing? How Trump had all the fast food at the White House?
Okay, no lie. I'm gonna be perfectly candid with you. That was the first thing that popped in my head when I saw
Okay,
that. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I
because
don't know. I just I don't know why. It just made me think about that for some
but does
reason.
that make him even more heel?
The fact that he was all like, I'm gonna give people because you remember what he said, right? Where he's all like, people want to eat hot dogs, let them eat hot dogs, let them put whatever they want in their bodies. Do you remember when he said something like that?
Which is basically the same campaign that Trump ran on.
Oh man. Oh boy, oh boy,
So
oh boy.
maybe the next step is to bring WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump in to do an angle with AJ Styles.
Oh my gosh, not gonna happen, Vance. Gonna happen. Um,
What else happened on SmackDown, Cruz?
I feel like they're trying to make things sexy, just like with I forgot to mention this part with Raw when they showed Alexa Bliss in the dressing room, and then the guy comes in and walks in on her.
Oh,
It
you
felt very.
mean the most viewed clip on WWE's YouTube to date?
But can I say though that I felt like it was I personally, and you know how I feel about hot women, okay? Like you know what I mean?
Same
I
way
feel
I
like
do.
I feel like that segment was kind of forced and very awkward.
It was super awkward
The way
because
they played
Alexa
it.
Bliss isn't that girl.
No,
She's not
it was,
Eva Marie.
it was just very, very awkward. It was just kind of like,
I mean, I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong.
no, I
But
totally am, but it needs to be done right. And case in point, them going into SmackDown with Mandy Rose, right?
oh,
How
Mandy
they
Rose in the hotel room.
playing into this whole sexy thing. I will say this though, you notice how they're doing a lot of like street fights, man. You know, like
They're
fucking
doing a
Naomi,
lot
you
of
know,
shit
telling her,
outside of
yeah,
the ring.
dude.
I like that.
Include even with Daniel Bryan and AJ when they were in
In
the
the
concession
concessions.
stand.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, dude. They're really trying
Not
to
only
like.
that, but does Naomi wear bright colored clothing just all the time? Is that her thing?
I mean, do you not see her entrance music, bro? It's like a fucking rave.
But like she was wearing a fluorescent yellow, like I don't even know what it wasn't ring gear.
Can you feel the glow, Vance?
I gotta feel the glow. Gotta feel the glow. That's probably why. I just don't feel it, Cruz. I'm not feeling the glow. But wait, did you hear how Jimmy she goes, I hate your Mandy goes, I hate your wife. And Jimmy goes, my wife? Do you think maybe they switched and it was Jay the whole time? And he's like, haha, I'm not Jimmy.
It's really funny that you said that because that was the first thing that pops into my head, the way he said that. When
he was like, my wife.
My wife. And I was like, wait a minute, did they just pull a prank on her or something? But then they didn't.
I mean, they're twins. I'm sure they've been like, yo, man, I don't want this girl. You want her? And he's like, yeah, man, Mandy Rose. So I don't know. I think that could be a cool storyline where it's like, it wasn't even Jimmy the whole time. It was Jay.
It wasn't him the whole time. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It wasn't me. It was my brother. What else happened on SmackDown? We got Andrade.
Andrade, who is no longer Andrade Cien Almas. He is just.
Oh, that was such a cool name, though.
Andrade.
I think that every Mexican wrestler needs that cool long name, like Rey
I like this fucking name.
Or Alberto Del Rio.
Andrade
Cien Almas. Like, I don't know. I don't like Andrade. Andrade could be like, he sounds like a fucking, like he races cars in Monaco and he's Italian.
Andrade.
It's Andrade coming around the F1. How are you?
Ah, ciao, come stai? It's Andrade.
It's me, Andrade.
No, but dude, that fight though, between him and Rey Mysterio. Bro.
Dude, that Hurricanrana off of the fucking top rope to the outside. How old is Rey Mysterio? Is he 40?
I think he's older than 40.
Let's ask
Alexa.
Google. Oh.
How old is Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio is 44 years old. 44
wow,
years
he's
old.
44 years old. Wow. And he's doing fucking dude, he like aged backwards. He's like better than I remember. And he's got these cool, like weird masks now than like his regular like condom face mask. Yeah. Like this has like a fucking hair on it and shit.
Mohawks and all that.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. I like Rey Mysterio. I like this tour Rey Mysterio is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that match was pretty fucking awesome between him and Andrade.
And then they ended it again with who, Cruz?
Who did they end it with, Vance?
The Man. And Asuka. And Charlotte.
They actually opened with the Man, and then they ended it with the Man. Did you notice that?
They did. You're right. It's pretty crazy that Daniel Bryan.
What?
It's pretty crazy that Daniel Bryan isn't closing the show as the champion.
No.
And he was the most over guy in the company.
Well, I feel like we've said this last week, how like it's a safe bet to say that the women kind of rule SmackDown in a sense, which they do. And they also have Becky Lynch, which also kind of adds to that as well. But did you see how when they open that? I mean, okay, we haven't touched on this yet. How they're kind of now they're sprinkling the NXT people that have been called up, right? Saw them on Raw first, right? How about that weird? I forgot to mention this part when they did the tag Riot Squad versus Bailey, Natalia, and Nikki. That was like, okay, all right. Anyhow, back to what I was
I
saying.
didn't.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
How do you feel about this whole sprinkling NXT people around the backstage area thing?
It's just so like
It
I don't want
seems
to use
forced, right?
it's see I was gonna say it's not awkward, it's forced because it's like it's not natural. It's just very like, oh look, like well, for instance when Finn was walking out for his match against Jinder and you see the lady of NXT, what the fuck's her name? Lacey
I don't
Evans.
under. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, she had like a bunch of other people, and she's just sitting there in character. She's such a fucking caricature. I feel like I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of wrestlers are, you know what I mean, but hers is just way overdone. But the way they sprinkled that in there, and then Finn's walking out, and he stops and looks, and he's just like, huh, okay, whatever, keeps walking. What I was getting ready to say, because on SmackDown they opened with the New Day with Heavy Machinery mixing food into a fucking blender, and I'm just like, bleh.
dude. Wait, can we go back to Raw for this heavy machinery? Why did Otis Dosovich come out during the Alexa Bliss segment?
Okay, yeah, precisely my point. All this shit
He
was
wandered
forced
out like
and
a
awkward.
troll under a bridge and was like, "Pretty lady."
I don't understand it, Vance.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I wish that. Okay, here's what I wish they did. I wish that if they're gonna do this stupid backstage bullshit, that they all had a job, like they're all doing something. Like Otis Dosovich maybe comes over after the whole Vince and Braun thing, and he's like, "I can fix the door," and he's like fixing the door and shit,
That would have been really hilarious,
you know.
actually.
And
That's
like
hilarious.
maybe EC3 comes in to help Alexa Bliss with her shirt after the incident. He's like, "Oh my god, let me help you with a wardrobe malfunction." Like it's like, what the fuck is EC3 doing?
Yeah, like being douchey EC3.
Yeah. But like them just being like fucking Where's Waldo, like when they're walking backstage.
Yeah,
I don't.
I didn't like the way they did that at all on both brands. I did
And
not
we
like it at
still haven't
all.
seen Lars Sullivan,
No, that
who
was
was
what I was
supposed
getting
to
ready
have
to
that
say.
program
I was actually
with
getting ready to
Asuka.
say that's the one person, the one face that we have not seen on either brands. Mm-mm.
Here's my prediction: he's gonna come out during the Rumble and he's gonna eliminate Cena, and then Cena getting a feud for WrestleMania
Ah, we talked about this briefly. Hmm.
because they always have like
Well,
surprise people in the Rumble.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's
They remember they had
crazy.
Adam Cole last year.
Yeah. So back to SmackDown, they opened with the man and closed it with the man.
Well, no,
Can't
they
believe.
closed it with Shane McMahon.
Oh wait, you're right. It was his birthday. I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Shane
I
McMahon's
forgot
birthday.
about that. I forgot about that. I forgot
How
about
do you
that.
do? You like this whole Shane Miz thing?
It's really weird because now what is Miz a face now? Like
I don't get. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
it's so confusing to me. Even his like demeanor is so different now that it's just kind of like, okay, Miz, I'd rather you just be, your normal heel self. You know what I'm saying?
And like the bar definitely heals. Like definitely heals. You
Oh
interrupt
no,
a
no.
birthday party, you're a heel.
I don't know. Absolutely, absolutely. It's just weird, like seeing Miz in this new. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's not really a new persona
No,
per
it's
se.
like
Like,
he's too nice. Something's
he's
got to
too
give.
no, he's too fucking nice. And then the whole daddy issue thing is what started it all. Do you not remember
Mhm.
like a couple of
Yep.
episodes back where he's saying, "Oh, nothing's good enough for my dad except for with you." And then of course Shane was all like, "Yeah, let's do it." And in fact, at his birthday celebration, he even told the Miz, like, "I want to thank you for opening up and opening up your heart about this whole thing, right?"
Yep.
And there's just something weird and awkward. That's awkward. That's a good
That
way
was
to fucking
super awkward.
describe. Super awkward. Just I feel like this whole Miz thing. I don't know how I feel about it, Vance.
I'm not a fan.
I don't know. I don't
Um,
think I'm a fan.
what else happened? That's pretty much it. SmackDown,
That's pretty
right?
much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, Cruz,
So
there's been some major news events since
let's
last you
get
spoke.
let's get into some
Let's
going
just
over
start at the
news.
top here.
Hmm.
There are currently rumors going around
Okay.
that the revival have asked for their release from WWE.
Not surprised at all.
Not surprised.
At all.
Okay.
Everybody kept saying it with the announcement of AEW, All Elite Wrestling, right?
Yep.
Everybody kept saying, and we even asked the Going Over Universe last week's episode, who do you think should go to AEW, right? And almost every single person that responded to that question was, oh, the Revival for sure. Everybody kept saying the Revival, the Revival.
Well,
and
because
then,
they were tweeting the Bucks.
Yeah. So that rumor has it, Vance. Rumor. This is just a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's hear it,
I mean,
Chris. Let's hear the rumor. Let's hear the rumor.
I'm asking you if this is a rumor.
Oh yeah, well it has been prominently reported through various news outlets that they have asked for their release.
So
now,
they asked for their release. Okay.
What could happen is they could say no, and it'll be like a Neville situation where they just disappear from TV and sit out their contract. Because the new thing with WWE, and this is the latest piece of news, is they are willing to, if you get a written offer from any other company and bring it to WWE, they will either double it or match it or beat it somehow so they can sign you. They do not want to lose out on anybody else. They do not want AEW to go anywhere.
Yeah,
also, you had Maria and Mike Kanellis ask for their releases from WWE.
Really?
And the big news, Cruz, is as of January 31st, Mr. Dolph Ziggler will be a free agent. He has not re-signed with WWE. He has changed his Twitter name to Nick Nemeth, which is his real name, has removed Dolph Ziggler. He is going on a comedy tour. He has not wrestled since New Year's Eve.
Right. I was there.
He has turned down the offer to become a producer backstage, and he's saying he's wrapping up his tenure with the company. So like we said, Ziggler, who I think will definitely go to AEW.
So you think that even after all of this changing his name and everything, you think he's going to go to AEW?
I think it'll be Nick Nemeth.
You think he'll be okay? I was going to ask that next. Like, so do you think he's just going to? You think he's going to come? If let's say he does sign with AEW, right? Do you think he's going to have a whole different persona? Whole different gimmick?
I think he'll still be the show off dickhead fucking varsity
Hollywood shit. Yeah.
You know, I don't think he's going to come back to the Spirit Squad shit.
Wow, man. Okay, interesting. So as of the 31st of this month, January, basically his contract is up, is what you're saying. With
same day as Kenny Omega.
And I was just going to get ready to say that. Any news on Kenny Omega, Vance?
Kenny Omega was recently at a Tokyo sports event and said, and I'll quote, he said, where's my notes? He said he looks forward to being on a major platform major international platform in 2019.
Oh, international. Okay.
Major international platform in 2019.
And we already know that he's not going back to New Japan, correct?
Right. So that leaves AEW or WWE.
Damn. Okay, then. Okay.
So that's some of the stuff going on in the news. I mean, that's some pretty big news. I mean,
that's some pretty big news, man.
That's Ziggler, and that's pretty huge.
The Ziggler one is pretty huge, especially because everybody kept saying, like, oh yeah, I think he's going to leave WWE. But if his contract's already up, then that's just like almost a done deal right there. Especially if you said that he turned down a producer job or whatever.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Another thing, Cruz, today also was the day that they dropped the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It looks fucking amazing. Ronda Rousey does one of the voices.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Did you see Zelina Vega, my wife, my future ex-wife? Anyways, dressed up as fucking Jade. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways. Not the place for it, Cruz. Not the place for it.
It's okay, Cruz. It's okay.
So shall we go into what the Going Over Universe has to say about all of this, Vance?
Yes. Let's hear what the Going Over Universe has to say.
So as stated in the beginning of the show, I said that I asked the Going Over universe who they think is going to show up at Royal Rumble to go up against the Beast, right?
Mhm.
I ran a poll on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So we're gonna go with Twitter first here, and I'm gonna read some comments that people have to say here. 79% on Twitter
Wow, that's a lot of people.
said the Demon King. 21% went with Finn Balor. In
Is this who
fact,
they
David,
want, or is this who they think will show up?
well, I said, who do you think is going to show up? And I feel like, even though I worded it that way, I feel like, and I'm going to read the comments that people
Read some
said.
of the comments. I'd like to hear some thinking on this.
Okay, so let's see here. At OberXAm says, I vote Demon King, but I would hate to see the Demon King lose to Lesnar. So he thinks
Exactly. So he
yeah,
gets it.
yeah, he gets it. Let's see here. At Millen T says he has to if there's any shot, and he's talking about being the Demon King. He has to be the Demon King if there's any shot.
I like how he's keeping the kayfabe alive, and he's like, he's in. I like that
yeah.
guy.
At WB Greg 69 says, won't matter. Brock will retain the title, and it makes me cringe.
I concur with that statement, Warner Brothers Greg.
David LaGreca from Busted Open, Sirius XM 93, he just simply responded with a GIF of the Demon King.
Oh.
So,
Oh, interesting. What's the Demon King doing in the GIF?
Oh, he's sticking his tongue out. He's going, ah.
I think that he sent you that for different reasons.
So on the gram, again, 83% went with Demon King,
Wow.
17% went with Finn Balor.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Someone left a comment on Instagram in response to that poll saying, I think they built the Demon match at Mania in an attempt to keep Finn from looking at AEW's way. Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think any of this has to do with AEW.
I don't think so either. I don't
want to start putting everything into AEW. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be they must be doing that because AEW fucking knocking.
I don't even think I need to bother going to Facebook, even though 20% said Finn, 80% said Demon King. So the consensus here, Vance, is that the Going Over universe seems to believe, whether or not it's who they think or who they want, the majority of everybody is saying that they think that the Demon King is going to show up at Royal Rumble. And of course, everybody knows how we feel about that. We just mentioned that earlier. I don't think the Demon King is going to show up. I would love to see the Demon King show up, but given the circumstances of what has happened recently, I just don't feel like it would be right to have the Demon King come out.
I agree. It's a waste. You're wasting the Demon King.
It would be a waste. I mean, if he did come out as a Demon King, yeah, I'd be totally surprised.
That'd be the first loss for the Demon King because there's no way.
There's no way.
Brock Lesnar is losing that belt before WrestleMania.
No,
there's no way.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. So that's it from the Going Over universe on social media. If you guys do want to continue commenting your thoughts on this, or if you haven't yet, you can shoot on over to our Instagram at Going Over Podcast or our Twitter at Going Over Pod to give us your thoughts and ideas on who you think is going to show up or who you want. Whichever. Who do you want? Who do you think is going to show up at Royal Rumble? So,
Cruz, next week we have a very special episode.
Oh, do we now?
We have our Royal Rumble episode.
That's right.
Which means every 3 minutes, me and Cruz will be becoming a new participant in the Royal Rumble for the last 90 minutes of the show. Never know who we're going to be. Could be somebody from the past. Could be somebody from the present. Could be somebody from the future.
I was just going to say, ooh.
We might not even do any of that because we'll forget. Who knows? Cruz.
Yeah, man. Vance.
This has been an episode.
This was I thought this was a good episode, man.
I thought it was filled with entertaining and informative commentary.
Information?
Yes, that was the word I was looking for.
Information,
It's getting
perhaps?
late over here.
Yes. Yeah, I think this episode is definitely going over, Vance, don't you think?
Cruz, this episode was too sweet. Brought to you today by Ballard Club.
Ballard Club worldwide. You like how all those people in the crowd behind us, Vance, are doing this?
Yeah, they're joining us.
Vance, where can everybody find you online?
They can find me at That Guy Vance on all your social media platforms.
Send me.
Put me in your top 8.
You can find me at Annie fucking Cruz on Twitter, at Annie Cruz on Instagram. You can also, again, follow us at Going Over Podcast on Instagram, at Going Over Pod on Twitter. Tweet us your thoughts. Let us know what you want us to cover here at Going Over. You can also check out our YouTube channel at goingovertv.com, or simply shoot on over to goingoverpodcast.com. Also, another shout out again to Busted Open, Sirius XM 93. If you guys haven't listened to my episode, make sure you tune in. You can find the episode on demand from this past Monday with me, Tommy Dreamer, and David LaGreca. You might see Dave LaGreca and or some of the hosts from his show on our show, hopefully. So
yeah, we're gonna do some tag team action.
We're gonna do some tag team action. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, all right. I think this is it, Vance. This is Cruz the Crusher going over and out. Too sweet.
Stone Cold Steve Vance, and that's the bottom line. Stone Cold said so.
You need to work on that ending.
I gotta figure out a fucking catchphrase.